coming across to more breaking news coming in. These are inside details of ED's probe against Jharkhand Chief Minister Hemant Soren. The latest that is just coming across as ED is maintaining that searches at Hemant Soren's Delhi residence continue. This was based on a fresh input. Jharkhand Chief Minister had written to ED stating that he will appear on the 31st of January, and ED maintains that searches at his Delhi residence are continuing, but they have not been able to record any statement. Let me bring in senior editor Bhavan Sen, who's tracking all the details on the same. Over to you, Bhavan.
Well, in fact, Suesha, what we can confirm for our viewers is that the enforcement director this morning around 7 o'clock in the morning reached the residence of the Chief Minister of Jharkhand here in the national capital when the searches actually began. Thereafter, we are being told that when the searches were being carried out, the enforcement director did actually ask for the Chief Minister because they wanted to record his statement. That is as per the procedure of the enforcement directorate, because remember, whenever searches are carried out, a statement is also recorded simultaneously. But in this particular case, they were unable to record any statement of the Chief Minister as he was not present. As far as his questioning is concerned, in the past, remember, the enforcement directorate had already sent out a notice asking the Chief Minister to give a date on which he would have been questioned. We are given to understand that a letter has been written from the Jharkhand Chief Minister's office to the Enforcement Directorate indicating that the Chief Minister will be present before the Enforcement Directorate for further questioning in the illegal mining scam on the 31st of January. Now, that's the latest details that are now coming in. With regards to whether at all the Chief Minister has gone missing, that perhaps would not be appropriate to say at this point in time, given the fact that we haven't really heard from the Chief Minister. The Enforcement Director is only indicating the fact that they have not been able to question or record his statement so far. That's what sources within the Enforcement Directorate are indicating. Remember, in this particular case, in the illegal mining scam where the Chief Minister's name has basically surfaced, multiple searches were carried out in the past. So much so, alleged close aides of the Chief Minister has also been raided by the Enforcement Directorate. And during the searches, they've basically come across official documents belonging to the Jharkhand government, due to which the Minister was essentially called in for an explanation. So far, the Chief Minister maintains that this is a biased investigation that has been carried out by the Enforcement Directorate, and particularly at the behest of the centre. That's the allegation that the Chief Minister has levelled against the Enforcement Directorate.
Continue talking to us, Bhavan. Does this also mean that Hemant Soren will appear before the ED officials on the 31st of January in the national capital? What more can you add to that?
So far, all the questioning that has taken place, Suesha, has always happened in Ranchi, because this case is registered in Ranchi. In all likelihood, if at all the Chief Minister makes an appearance, the appearance will happen before the Enforcement Directorate's Ranchi unit. In the past, there are several summons that were actually skipped by the Chief Minister. In fact, he had also dragged the Enforcement Directorate to the apex court, trying to perhaps also quash the ECIR that has been registered in this particular case. But having said that, the Enforcement Directorate still maintains that they have come across fresh evidence in the matter, and that is the reason why these searches have been carried out by them. Now, what we do not know at this point in time, Suesha, is that what is the nature of the fresh evidence the Enforcement Directorate is indicating, based on which these searches have been carried out. What we know so far is that the searches have been carried out at the residence of the Chief Minister in the national capital. We are waiting for some more information to trickle in from the Enforcement Directorate, whether at all the searches have been carried out in other locations too. As of now, we are also being told there's a possibility that another notice could be issued to the Chief Minister, especially given the fact that if at all any recovery is made from the Chief Minister's residence in the national capital, they would essentially require someone to basically testify the moment they get the details of it.
All right, Bhavan, many thanks for getting us those details. Piyush also is live with us. Piyush, details from you on the important documents that were seized by the ED officials. In fact, they were handed over to one officer in a bag outside in that car, and we've also put out pictures of the same. Also, his Shanti Niketan house, as is being said that he did travel to Delhi on Saturday night, but is not present at his residence. Shravan does tell us that he is likely to appear before the ED on the 31st. But what is the next step of the ED going to be?
So, Esha, three important points I want to just tell you. And while I speak, I would just request my video journalist to just show the images over here. First, yes, it is confirmed that the Chief Minister of Jharkhand, Hemant Soren, was over here in Delhi. Whether he is over here right now, that's something which needs to be known about. And while I speak, one thing is certain, that the officials of Enforcement Directorate are still at the residence, the visuals of which is being shown to you by my video journalist. Now, another thing is that, yes, there has been a lot of movement of the Enforcement Directorate officials from the residence of Hemant Soren. And today at around 12, we did show you the image of Enforcement Directorate official coming out from his residence with a bag. Now, that bag might consist some very important documents regarding the case which the Enforcement Directorate is investigating. Now, ever since we have been told that the Enforcement Directorate team was over here, which we have been told were over here since 7, there has been now a question of whether they have been able to question Hemant Soren or not. Our sources tell us that no, they have not been able to question him. And now there are claims and there are speculations that perhaps on 31st, there can be a possibility of Hemant Soren again presenting himself to questioning in front of Enforcement Directorate. But will that happen or not, we do not know. But from the situation over here at the Enforcement Directorate, at the residence of Hemant Soren, and while I speak, I would again request my journalist to just show the image. There has been a lot of movement of the Enforcement Directorate team, and it seems that while I speak, the Enforcement Directorate team is still here, and there have been some important documents, as what we have been told, Enforcement Directorate has been able to recover from the house. Will it lead to some more revelations in the case with the Enforcement Directorate is questioning? Will it lead to some more sterner steps that would be taken by the Enforcement Directorate team on the prevailing Chief Minister of Jharkhand, Hemant Soren? That is something which now needs to be seen, and it will be very interesting to see that what will happen today at the end of the day, and will on 31st of Jan, as what we've been told, will Hemant Soren again present himself to the questioning in front of the central agency. Back to you in the studio.
Right. The question certainly remains, Piyush, to what Hemant Soren will do next, given the fact that he has skipped 9 summons. And will he really face the ED officials on the 31st of January? Now, they had sought time from him anywhere between the 29th to the 31st January. And Shravan also confirms with us that the Jharkhand Chief Minister did reply to the ED saying that he will appear before the officials on the 31st. Is there a likely chance that the documents that have been seized at this point will also be corroborated in the line of questioning on the 31st January?
Well, definitely, since you see that the officials of Enforcement Directorate are still inside the house and they are trying to investigate. And while I speak, I will again just request my video journalist to just show the images over here. While the team is over here, they have got some important documents. It seems that they will try to corroborate the evidence because, mind you, it's very important to note that the probe is being done of the Chief Minister of Jharkhand. So definitely the Enforcement Directorate will try to make sure that they have all the vital evidences in front of them while they get to question the Chief Minister of Jharkhand. So yes, it is going to be now interesting to see that what all other important evidences have the Enforcement Directorate been able to get from the house of Hemant Soren, from where we are reporting from, and will it lead them to ask some very tough questions from Hemant Soren whenever they plan to question him next. Back to in the studio.
All right, Piyush, many thanks for getting us those details. Hemant Soren to appear before the ED on the 31st of January is what we understand. Now, he did travel to Delhi on the Saturday. It was an unplanned visit to his Shanti Niketan residence in the national capital. Meanwhile, Piyush, before I let you go quickly, to understand that security deployment has been heightened at his Jharkhand residence also. Any details from the CMO so far on what they are preempting next and what the Chief Minister's move could be?
So while I speak, I would just request my video journalist to show the images of the Delhi police officials over here. And today, in the morning at least, there was a huge presence of the Delhi police officials. And you rightly mentioned that not only in Delhi, but even in Jharkhand, there has been a heavy security presence because there has been a lot of dramatization. There has been a lot of hustle and bustle in and around, not only in Delhi, but also in Jharkhand. And thereby, yes, there has been a presence of heavy security because this entire situation has led to a lot of unpredictability. We just do not know what is really happening. Again, it was felt that today the Enforcement Directorate might be able to question Hemant Soren over here in Delhi, but perhaps it seems it will not happen that way. So as we have now come to know that perhaps it may be a possibility that Hemant Soren might present himself for questioning in front of Enforcement Directorate on 31st of January. Will that happen? Will that not? We do not know. But yes, ever since this incident, this news came in that Enforcement Directorate might come to the residence of the Jharkhand Chief Minister for questioning, there has been a lot of heavy security in Delhi and in police. Back to you in the studio.